Hi, welcome to my service action plan proposal. I thought we would start off by talking about what the gifted indicator is for our district. Our gifted indicator has three sections. The first is the value added, and as you notice, we have a D in that section, which means our students are losing performance levels. So the state requires a C, and we are not meeting that. The performance index is the achievement level of the students in the current year, and this could be on grade level or above grade level. The state requires 117 points, and we are not meeting that mark either. The gifted input is the last section on the indicator. The score means that the district is not accumulating enough points to meet the state requirement, which is 80 points. We have 19. So if you look at the bar graph on the right-hand side of the indicator, it shows that most of the identified students, which are the blue bars, are not receiving services. So the receiving services is the red bars. This is our critical area that needs improvement and where we are going to see all three sections of the indicator improve. So the Gifted Service Action Plan, how do we fix this? The state of Ohio has a 5-step process that says that we first need to identify our critical need, which I think we have by saying we need to service our students. And then we research and select evidence-based strategies. We plan how we're going to implement these things. We implement and monitor. Then we examine and reflect and adjust. So what I propose today is some additional staff that would be implementing some clusters, some pull-out, some additional acceleration and enrichment classes. And then once we start implementing these, the instructional coaches will report out evidence of the implementation, showing the impact of the data that we've collected in assessing summatively and formatively, and they would actually be our monitors as well. As educators, they would monitor our progress, but they would report out, more importantly, to the buildings and to the district. Then at the end, we could always adjust our techniques to see what was proven effective and change anything that maybe wasn't implemented consistently. So when we start to talk about grade bands, kindergarten through third grade is when we first start to see our gifted identification. That's the most important part that happens at this grade band, is actually identifying who our gifted students are. But we also will have an enrichment curriculum at the English, language arts, and math clusters, because those are the areas that are tested by the state in how they are performing, which a gifted intervention specialist would be needed. When we look at the second grade band, 4th grade through 8th grade, this is a wide range of development for students, but basically the steps are similar. We would be enriching, again, still in the ELA and math areas, but we can also start accelerating them. We can actually accelerate them as much as 2 grade levels ahead in English and in math. So, for example, an 8th grader at the end of this grade band could be in a 10th grade math class and a 10th grade English class. But again, a gifted intervention specialists are needed, especially in the lower grades. In the upper grades, it may not be as imperative to have a gifted intervention specialist, although it's definitely a leg up on the rest. So 9th grade through 12th grade, most gifted students have been with their similarly gifted peers for most of the other bands if we have this plan in place. So as they transition to high school, 9th graders specifically, I feel like need to have their own gifted classes for ELA and math specifically, but probably also for science and social studies at this point in their academic careers. Once they come out of the ninth grade, they have more choices on which directions for college and career paths that they want to take. So they have honors classes that are accelerated. They have college credit plus, where they can gain high school and college credit at the same time. I think a GIS is needed for the gifted classes, especially, and this will lead more specifically to concerns that you will have here in just a second. So, administrative concerns. How much is this going to cost? What are all the logistics involved? So, what's it going to take is basically how I understand this question that you probably have. We're going to need people, places, and some professional development. I would say the people that I've mentioned on all the grade bands are gifted intervention specialists. They're going to be needed at every grade band, multiple places. We would have to really analyze specifically where our gifted students are to know how many of these people we would need, this additional staff. It could be that one gifted intervention specialist could service more than one building. It could mean that our population, we need 3 in one building. It just depends on our population sizes. But the professional development is going to be really important for the current staff who are going to service gifted students that do not have their gifted intervention specialists. So they would need additional professional development. That would also include a cost for substitute teachers as they leave the classroom to have this PD. And then, of course, we actually need a place for the gifted intervention specialists and the other staff to have these pull-out enrichment clusters, to have these smaller classes that might be divided out of the original classes, especially in the lower grade bands. So we just need to make sure we have enough rooms and desks and chairs and all the things that go along with that to house everyone that's needed. So, in my opinion, no single textbook or device or app or program is effective as a human being. I feel like the most important thing that we can do is actually add people into place that have expertise to service the population that we're talking about here specifically is gifted students. So gifted intervention specialists are those people that can be put in place to be the most intimate care that we can give our students. So, bottom line is, I know we can do it. It will just take some additional special people to pull it off, but I know we can do it.